This is a toolkit I use to do all my repairs. This really has everything I need. You have your ratchets, you have your extensions, you have all sorts of sockets to use. You have some normal wrenches over there, some Allen keys, various bolts, various attachments there, and it comes with a universal screwdriver where you can attach anything you want to it. So this is a screwdriver that comes with it, and you can just take off what you want. There's grease on my fingers, so I can't take it off.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just like the universal screwdriver that comes with it. Really helpful. You can, these are all the attachments, plenty of attachments, and you can just put on anything you need and get the job done. Alright, so this is the engine bay of my Saab 92X Aero, and today we're going to be replacing the spark plugs and coil packs. So in order to access the 4 spark plugs, there's 2 on each side, you first have to remove the battery and the battery holder, which is right here. So I've already removed that, and over here, right here and here, these are the 2 coil packs inside the engine bay. So what you want to do is first spray some WD-40 on these 2 plastic clips, this black and white one, and then you press this down on the white clip and slowly push it off, and it should come out. And after that, you're able to get a 12 millimeter socket, reach down there and unscrew it. Sometimes these bolts will be a little tight, so spraying it with some WD-40 or some penetrating oil will help to loosen the bolt. And you want to do that for these 2 bolts. So I've already replaced the coil packs and put in new spark plugs for the side. Once you get the coil pack out, look for some signs of wear and tear. Usually, the reason why I'm replacing the spark plugs in this car is that there was a misfire in cylinder 2 and 4, which is on this side of the engine, on the left side, and that was causing the car to misfire. And usually the culprit is either a bad spark plug or a coil pack, so just to be safe, I replaced both the coil pack and the spark plug. Now you want to be really delicate with these connectors. They can, over time, they can become really brittle and break off, so make sure you're being very careful and that this white part is pushing out easily. You don't want to force any of this out. And then I have a sign. So once you take the coil pack out, you want to get a spark plug socket, which looks like this. So this is a 5/8 spark plug socket, and this is used to get the spark plug out of the housing. What differentiates a 5/8 spark plug socket from a normal 5/8 socket is that spark plug socket has this black rubber gasket inside that's used to actually latch onto the spark plug and get it out. So once you get the coil pack out, you're able to take out the old spark plug, and you just stick your extension inside, and then get a 1/2 inch drive or a 1/4 inch drive, depending on what extensions you're using to get out the old spark plug socket. So we haven't replaced the spark plugs in this car for a long time, so I found like both those spark plugs on the other side were seized inside the engine bay. There was a lot of carbon buildup over time that happened, so it was really hard to get the spark plug out. So in that case, what you want to do is go back and forth, tightening and loosening the spark plug. So when you get your ratchet on there, you want to, if it's not coming out easily, switch it over to the right side and start tightening it a little bit, and then switch it over to the left side and then start loosening it a little bit. Just keep going back and forth like that until you get some more movement in the spark plug, and eventually it should loosen out. So I have this is the bad spark plug that came out of the fourth cylinder, and why the car was misfiring so bad, because the ceramic that surrounds the spark plug broke. So instead of the spark going through this metal tip all the way to the tip, it was igniting early and coming out of this little gap in here, which you don't want. And oftentimes when you take out your old spark plug, some signs of wear, signs of a bad spark plug will either be a cracked ceramic coating, or oftentimes this gap at the tip right here will either become too big or too flat, or that can happen, or that tip at the very bottom right there, that can wear down or just completely go away. This is what a brand new spark plug looks like. As you can see, it's gapped properly. The gap isn't too close or too far from the spark plug, or from the tip, and the threads are nice, and the ceramic isn't cracked at all. So this is what you want. But yeah. Right now I'm just putting some dielectric grease onto the spark plug and the boot, so the boot won't get stuck to the spark plug, because oftentimes when you're reattaching a spark plug, this boot will come out of the socket, so this grease prevents that from happening. I'm just putting in the new spark plug. First, spark plugs usually have a lot of threads, so you want to hand tighten first. Then once it gets tight enough, then you can take your ratchet, fit it in there, and you should be able to tighten it the rest of the way. It is a tight space in here, so it's a bit of a hassle to get the ratchet in here, probably. Let's see. Okay. That should be the one. So you don't have to record. Alright, so the 1/2 inch drive was too big, so I'm using my 1/4 inch drive, along with some various extensions to tighten the spark plug. And then once you get the spark plug tightened with your 1/4, then you can probably fit in your 1/2 inch drive to tighten it a bit more. Be careful not to over torque these, otherwise they will cross thread, and you don't want that to happen. So right now I'm just hand tightening it, and you can do it by feel. So when you start feeling it become tight, then that's a good. That's a sign to stop. So now it's slowly becoming tighter. Alright. 1, 2. So when you can't tighten it by hand anymore, that's a good sign to stop. It's a new spark plug in. So I got the new spark plug in, tightened it, and now I'm ready to attach the new coil pack in. This is what it looks like. I put some dielectric grease on the inside because just to act as a lubricant to make it go over the spark plug a bit easier. So yeah, now I just have to put this back in. I'm hoping that the connectors are in good shape. Usually these are in okay. These aren't the cause of an engine misfire, but I'm kind of worried about this connector right here because it's missing a yellow bracket and its protective casing. So this might have been the cause of it, but more than likely, I'm 90% sure it was this because this thing is cracked. So if these connectors are broken in any way or in a bad shape, then you probably have to order a new protective casing for these. Usually the wires are fine, so it's just a matter of replacing this plastic hardware around it. Alright, so now I just have to put this back in. Alright. So now it's back in. You'll feel it when it goes over the spark plug, and then it's just a matter of screwing it in. Alright, so now that I've hand tightened it, I'll get my socket and my 12 meter, I'll get my ratchet and my 12mm socket. It's right here. And then now, and just tighten. Again, once you start feeling it get tight, just push it up a bit more, and then that should be good enough. And now your new coil packs are in, and then once your new coil packs are in, you want to take your connectors. Remember that black always goes behind the white one, so you want to put in, make sure you attach your white cable to the front, and then your black cable to the rear. On the outside. So now just plug these back in, and then once it clicks, then it's good to go. I think the black one lost its connector, so I'm kind of worried about this one, but I'm hoping that once it just goes over, it'll be fine. So just reattach this one. Okay. think that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah. Alright, so unfortunately, I have ran into another problem. As I suspected, the black connector isn't good. For comparison, let me just take out the white one again. So this is what at least a good connector looks like. So you can see here that the protective casing, the white one, is there, and that it has another plastic yellow piece, which this one doesn't have. So now all the connections aren't straight or aligned, so it's not attaching to the coil pack properly. So if this happens, you'll want to replace. I have to replace this anyways, because even the fastener to the coil pack is broken off. It's this plastic piece right here. So this one was already broken. Usually this happens over time. These plastic pieces become really brittle, especially with heat in the engine bay. So it's not a hard thing to replace. You just have to take out the 3 wires, put them back in order, and then you should be good to go. I'm glad that the actual metal parts look good. So the metal connectors are in good shape. It's just a plastic housing that's not. So if this happens, just order a new part from online, and then it's just a matter of using a Phillips screwdriver or a Phillips flathead to pry these wires out. So you'll pull them out one at a time, and then put the new housing back in, and then it should attach to the new coil pack just fine.